suddenly things went a little haywire, 2004 to 2006, that patch. When you look back, do you tell yourself that that shouldn't have happened? Why did that happen? How did that happen? What do you just mentioned sometime back there, you talk to yourself in the
I think a
dressing
little
room.
bit. I think a little bit of 2005 went bad after that Pakistan series where we didn't lose that series.
Right.
It was 1-1. We lost the last test in Bangalore after being 1-up in Calcutta. We didn't lose that series, but obviously we dropped as a team after that. And obviously 3 or 4 months down the line, I lost my job as captain. As things started going a little bit haywire between 2005 and 2007. I felt John was getting tired with the job. He was around for 5-6 years.
You enjoyed working with him?
Oh, he's a great man. He's a lovely man. He's a nervous man. When the team was playing, he would walk around the dressing room. Every time he would get disturbed, nervous, he would get up, open the fridge, and take a bottle of water, say something on his own. He would not speak to anyone, but he would just keep on murmuring within himself, and then come back and sit. And a session later, when we are doing well, he would be a completely different person. He felt so much for the team. He's one of the fabulous persons I've met.
How was it losing captaincy? And there's also a particular image that was played a lot on TV around that time. I would like to know what was it all about. You, Greg Chappell, and Rahul Dravid, the three of you all talking during the nets in the ground in the middle. You were a little animated, and they were listening. What was it all about, the discussion?
Well, at the morning of the day before the test, Greg asked me whether I should step down as captain, and I got a complete shock because the day before a test match, we were playing a test match tomorrow. And he was asking me to do that, and I asked him why. He said, "No, I think we should move on. You've been around for too long. I've seen Kim Hughes, being captain for so long and get absolutely tired. 6 years is a long time in Indian cricket, and just play as a player and let somebody else take on." And I said, "This is not the time. We've got 2 test matches to play, back-to-back test matches to play. Let's sit and talk once the series is over. It's no point talking about it the day before a test match. We have to go for practice. Just at the eve of the test, and we're playing a test tomorrow. First of all, neither can I decide that now, neither can you ask now, because the selectors have appointed the captain and the team. You can't do that." So that was the major discussion which happened during that stage. And obviously the test match started. I got 100 in the test. We won the test. We won the series, and obviously when I came back, I lost my job.
Right. बोलते हैं हिंदी में एक मयान में 2 तलवार नहीं जा सकते. And that's what was told for you and Greg Chappell.
नहीं, क्यों नहीं जा सकते? Cricket is a captain's game.
Right.
Even when Greg Chappell was captain, look at Ian Chappell, the way he thinks about cricket. He says it's a captain's game. Coach is important, but a captain has to take a decision on the park. And whoever it may be, maybe 5 years down the line, I would be coach, and I will have to leave it to the captain. And I'll help him, I'll support him, I'll help the players, but it's the captain who takes the call. That's the way the sport has worked. And no coach has ever influenced the.
So, Sourav, what's the biggest difference between a John Wright as a coach during your tenure and a Greg Chappell as coach during your tenure? What's the biggest difference?
I think the difference is in adjustment compatibility. John would work with everyone. And be a friend of the boys and make sure that they get better. Very similar to what Gary Kirsten is. And for Greg, it was my way or highway.
Absolutely. Of course, in March 2006, you were playing in Pakistan, and you were dropped for 1 test match, and then subsequently dropped for the ODI series.
Yeah, I got dropped 4 times in 5 months during that period.
Yeah. Did you see an end to your career? Did you feel that?
Definitely, yeah, of course I thought. And as long as Greg would have remained coach, and I was gone, I could see it. I did well in the test in Delhi, where India won, got left out in Ahmedabad. Right. Then got picked again against Pakistan. Didn't play the first test, didn't play the second test. I thought I batted very well in the last test, and got dropped again.
Yeah, subsequently got dropped for the ODI series.
Dropped for the ODI series, dropped for the next test series against England.
England as well.
And I didn't play for the next 4-5 months till I came back to South Africa.
Somewhere during the time, you also played a very important Dilip Trophy match against North Zone.
I played domestic cricket. I got runs. Even when I got left out against after this Ahmedabad Delhi Test match against Sri Lanka, I came back and got 150. Then I went to a Dilip Trophy game. I got 100. So I was getting runs in domestic cricket.
Did you ever ask yourself, why did I recommend the Greg Chappell's name?
No. I had known him for a long time, and even before he wanted to be coach. We went in 2003 in Australia. I was there 6 months before that in Australia, trying to find out how we could play better cricket. I spoke to people, I spoke to greats. Greg was a very dear friend then. And, spent time with him for 4-5 days trying to find out how we can play better that winter in Australia. because I really wanted to make a difference to the team then. And you know, we had grown as friends over the period of 2-3 years when he didn't even want to coach because he wanted to stay at home. And then the incidents after that really surprised me.
Right, you realize your compatibility was not matching only when you became the coach, but when you all were friends, you all were house on fire.
Yeah, we were great friends actually.
It's sort of South Africa. That was one defining moment again. That was probably the moment for your comeback. That particular innings where you bailed India out of trouble, 59
Yes, you know,
for 3 or 4, and you go into bat.
Yeah, I always wanted to go to South Africa because I knew that, you know, I was away for 5 months. If I can go there and get runs, I'll cement my place again. Because in Indian cricket history, all the players who've played for a long time have played after they've been successful overseas.
But Sourav, as you mentioned some time back during the 1997, 90 and 99, you were here to stay. You mentioned that statement. When did that sense of insecurity creep into you? When was it that moment, that the moment you stepped in, you felt that every innings was like a battle for me? I know that, you know, I will be under watchful eyes from either from the selectors or coach. When was the moment where you stopped feeling secure?
See, that's going to happen to everyone. That you have to deal with it. At different stage of your career, you will go through different phases where, you know, there will be scrutiny on you, where your people's eyes will be on you. The selectors will say 2 more innings. If you don't do well, you'll be gone.
They actually told you this?
No. 2, they will be gone, and suddenly do well and things change. Because I am a firm believer in sport, and especially in cricket, that you're one afternoon away from being successful. And I'm a firm believer on that. And you know, I'll be honest, I had a lot of faith in my ability. Even today, if you ask me to play, I'll go and get runs for India.
I did read it somewhere that even if you asked to wear the bats for India today, you're ready for it.
No, I was just joking. I don't want to come back again. But what I'm trying to say is, even if today, if you say that we want you to go and get runs for India, I'll do it. And I've got so much faith in my ability. And always, right throughout the time, even when I went to South Africa, you know, I walked onto the park, and you know, it's a feeling which I got within myself that, you know, I can do it. I can get the runs for India, and I did. And then I came back again in those last 20 or 21 test matches. I scored nearly 2,000 runs. So it's just the belief I had, you know, with God's grace, or probably the successes I've had over the years. You know, I could feel that, no, I'll do it. Even during this IPL, you know, first 2 games I didn't do well. There was criticism whether he can play in T20 format of the game, and I finished with 500 runs. And it just comes out from the belief in myself.
Doing this, right?
No, I don't think about it. You know, I never walk on a cricket field trying to prove anything to anyone. Every time I walked on a cricket field, I tried to prove to myself that whether I am good enough to get a test 100. And I never worried about the rest. It's an ability which I developed over the years. You know, because I believe in sport that if somebody else tells me I'm rubbish, I won't be rubbish. And somebody else tells me I'm the best in the world, I won't be the best in the world if actually I don't go and do it. You know, I wasn't enjoying it. I wasn't enjoying it in and out for no reasons. For reasons which I myself couldn't satisfy myself. Because every test match I got runs, India won the test.